Hey guys, Nico here, and this time we are back with another video reviewing a new brand of UV light curing putty. So Fun Recall is a brand of UV resin that just launched last year. It comes in a round metal tin can and contains around 50 grams of UV reactive putty, a good amount that can last you for a couple of years. Generally, UV putty is ideal for filling imperfections such as gouges, scratches, small holes, and customizing mistakes. Think of it like body filler. I've always preferred using this kind of putty compared to the regular 2-part putty that takes hours just to cure compared to this one that instantly cures under UV light. Once cured, Fun Recall's UV curing putty achieves a hardness of 85D, making it ideal for repairing and detailing models without breaking easily. It also comes with a plastic scraper or spoon for getting the putty out. So the consistency is a bit grainy. It's not as smooth as peanut butter, but it's not too rough either. Think of it as a cross between a slightly coarse sandpaper and a soft clay. The consistency, I believe, actually allows for better bonding and helps to fill in small gaps and imperfections on the surface. However, if you're looking for a smoother finish, you can mix in a bit of alcohol with the putty to kind of thin it a little bit. Now let's talk about some of the ways you can use this putty for Gunpla modeling. So the first one is filling in gaps or unwanted designs. Sometimes when customizing, you would want to remove the original design and replace it with your own. Or sometimes you want to fill in some gaps. A good example would be SD kits. Those are notorious for having empty spaces and gaps in their armor. Or you made a mistake when customizing, like my example here, wherein I drilled holes and now I want to cover them up. It's an easy and fast fix with UV putty. First, I apply some tape to the backside of the hole so the putty doesn't just fall through and it's relatively flat on that side. Then I just fill up the gap as much as I need to with the putty. A favorite quality that I like with this UV putty is that it does not shrink nor sag, unlike with epoxy putty, wherein after it's cured you would find air bubbles or it just shrank, requiring you to apply another layer. With UV putty, it's basically what you see is what you get. If you applied it in, let's say, the shape of a heart, stick it under UV light, then it's gonna cure hard in the shape of a heart. Depending on how much putty you applied, it typically hardens under UV light in about 20 to 40 seconds. Sometimes it hardens under 15 seconds or less, again depending on how thick the putty is. Then right after that, you can go ahead and sand it, carve it with an art knife or use a Dremel to shape it, whatever you want. In my case, I'm just using a 400 grit sanding stick followed by a 600 grit to get it nice and smooth. And as you can see, it looks flawless, and of course after priming you won't even know that I did some touch-ups or repairs. So a beginner problem that most of us surely have experienced at least once is cutting flush to the part with nippers. This usually leaves stress marks, or in worst case scenarios, it leaves you with a chipped edge or a gouged out edge, which doesn't really look nice, especially on a gunpla. This is where UV putty can be useful as well. Since UV putty holds its shape well, you don't have to worry about it dripping or flowing away from where you put it. You can shape it however you want. So just like with filling the holes earlier, get enough putty, apply it onto the area that needs fixing, and it doesn't really matter how it looks. You don't have to shape it exactly or smoothen it out because it's easy to sand it right after. So even just leaving a blob onto the area and then lighting it up with the UV light, it's fine. Then you simply just repeat the process. You light it up for a few seconds with the UV light and you sand it with the 400-600 grit, and then it's done. And as you can see, the edge looks nice. It actually looks perfect, especially after you prime this and paint it. It won't even look like something went wrong. Fun Recall's UV putty has a lot more use than just what I'm showing. If you're creative enough, you can use it for sculpting a figure, a missing part, or even use it as a mold for casting whatever you can think of. But the last thing I'm gonna show is simply just using the UV putty to fix scribing mistakes. Sometimes the scriber just slips out of her hands and creates undesired lines onto the surface. If you're lucky, you can just sand this off, but if it's too deep, you have no choice but to use putty to fill it up. I definitely prefer using UV putty for this kind of mistake because not only can you sand it right away, you can also scribe over it again if you need to. Unlike with using those plastic putties with the toothpaste-like consistency where you just have to avoid the part that you applied it on. As expected, this worked like a charm, and it's also now available at Amazon. I will put the link down below so you can go check it out right after this video. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching yet another review video, and before the video ends, I want to thank FunRecall for sending me a couple boxes of this stuff. So yeah, I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye!